The problems with public procurement. Public procurement is in a dismal state. It operates at a sluggish pace, incurs substantial costs, and yields mediocre outcomes. Dishonesty has infiltrated the process, affecting every level of government. Yet it hasn't always been this way. Over the past 2 centuries, simple newspaper ads announced opportunities, allowing prospective suppliers to submit bids or seek further information. One of the first such ads appeared in 1824, a succinct services tender for constructing Montreal's Notre Dame Basilica. A mere 88 words kindled a venture of remarkable magnitude. Today, these opportunities are posted on internet portals, inviting responses through electronic or hard copy submissions. However, this digital transition has led to smaller, unplanned solicitations. Unfortunately, it has done little to expedite the timely delivery of goods and services and has fostered an unsettling sense of arrogance. A recent solicitation for home care services illustrates this issue. The documentation spanned 26 pages, with an additional 11 pages detailing submission terms, a 41-page proposed final agreement, and a 91-page procedures manual from the issuing authorities. Here's the paradox. This procurement process lacked concern for anyone's convenience. Released on August 18th, the deadline for responses was September 8th. As issuers enjoyed their beachside vacations, potential respondents were forced to sacrifice precious summer moments with their families to resume professional responsibilities. Permit me to share an insider's perspective. These hastily arranged RFX notices during the summer are a charade. They result from either inadequate planning or calculated maneuvering aimed at a predetermined outcome. Veterans in the field recognize this ruse. Occasionally, a frustrated outburst might escape a colleague's lips, but mostly there are collective shrugs. Aren't the terms within the RFP and the proposed contract meant to be equitable, with risks distributed evenly? Alas, no. These terms often flirt with the boundaries of what could be deemed unconscionable under different circumstances. The goal is not balance, but to shield the bureaucracy from allegations of neglecting public trust. High-handedness is customary in government contracting. However, there's a critical juncture where this approach backfires, favoring established entities while trapping the desperate. The former have the resources to scrutinize their capacity to fulfill obligations, but at a cost. The latter, driven by desperation, embrace any opportunity, often resorting to shortcuts and shoddy workmanship, sometimes leading to defaults. Between these extremes lie entities that epitomize better value. Flourishing in an efficient marketplace, their order books are full, rendering marginal competition irrelevant. This is a classic case of survivor bias, where the reasons for abstention and untapped comparative value remain obscure. How did we arrive at this juncture? Skilled procurers understand the principles of fair, open, and transparent public procurement. Yet, when asked to define these tenets, their responses falter, entangled in vague explanations. Some extol the sanctity of the process, while others deflect allegations of impropriety or dodge accountability for failures. Value for money becomes an empty refrain. Nonetheless, the specter of scrutiny persists. To evade unwelcome attention, solicitations often emerge when a favored candidate has already been identified, serving as a pretext for direct awards. Wary of the furrowed brows this might elicit, the faint-hearted opt for solicitations, often cloaking their affinity for a specific entity. Amid the deluge of earnest proposals, most remain unread, consigned to obscurity. Sometimes solicitations are timed with the doldrums of summer or the festivity of Christmas, conveniently aligning with the readiness of a favored respondent. Other times, requirements are artfully crafted to suit the capabilities of a preferred source. Consider a seemingly innocuous energy study for a city recreation venue rolled out on a mid-August Friday with a deadline in early September. Change is not merely an option, it is imperative. To reshape public procurement, we must relinquish the notion that it emerges from empirical foundations. Each facet of the process inherently tilts towards one party or another, while assessments remain dominantly subjective, especially in the aftermath of prior purchases that often constrain future options, particularly in technology. Yes, there will be naysayers who resist this transformation. However, their objections are rooted in an antiquated comprehension of public corruption. Insiders no longer grapple with the uncertainties of selection or contract performance. Instead, they unabashedly tap into public funds, often cloaking their actions in the garb of economic development, reconciliation, climate change, or other policy imperatives. We may sit in the hallowed nave of Notre Dame, immersed in its azure hues, and imagine it as God's creation. However, remember that this grandeur was born of the hands and sweat of faithful mortals. Similarly, the journey to revamp public procurement requires sustained effort spanning decades. Time, relentless as a river's flow, will persist. What will outlast this passage of time is our unwavering commitment to equitable practices and prudent public administration, a legacy that will guide generations yet to come.